guys, Shadow the Rat, and for today's video I just wanted to give you a quick update on Miss Potato here. And I am going to try to make this pretty brief because Potato is not fully recovered from her surgery yet, and I don't want to keep her out longer than necessary. She's already been kind of just walking around a little bit during free range, so she is a little bit tired just because, like I said, she's not really up to her full strength yet. Anyways, following from my last video where I mentioned that Potato got suddenly sick a few days before she was set to have a mammary tumor removed, I did end up taking Potato to the vet on Monday, which was this last Monday, and the vet pretty much gave her a physical and couldn't find anything wrong. Now, I mentioned in that prior video that Potato had done some weird rebound. She got very sick on Friday evening, and for about 14 hours, I really thought she was gonna die. Like, she was just doing so poorly. But by the time Monday rolled around, she was mostly back to normal, and the vet really couldn't find anything wrong with her. So with the physical coming out well and Potato's tumor having grown quite a bit since the vet last saw her about a month and a half before, we decided that we wanted to go through with the surgery. But the caveat was that we decided to do a x-ray first, just to see if there was anything we could see that was off, and also to see how Potato did with sedation. Because if she didn't do well with sedation, then she probably wouldn't do well with anesthesia. Now, the tumor was set to be removed on the Tuesday following her appointment, so one day later, and so we decided to do the x-ray the next day right before her surgery. And the vet told me they would call me and keep me updated on how everything looked and how she dealt with sedation as well. So I dropped Potato off in the morning at about, I want to say 8 o'clock. And then at about 11 o'clock, the vet called me and said that Potato had done really well under sedation, and she had also gotten a clean result on her x-ray. It was completely clean. There was nothing of notice there. Everything looked normal. Her heart and lungs in particular looked quite good for an older rat, especially considering that she is a chunky gal, and everything just looked completely normal. But anyways, like I said, she did well with the sedation, the x-ray looked good, and so the vet told me that they were going to go and do surgery if I was okay with that, and so I gave them the go-ahead, and they went ahead and operated. And Potato did really well during her surgery. In fact, when the vet called me back an hour later, she was like, wow, that was one of the best surgeries I've had in rats. She did really well with anesthesia. She had absolutely no problems with it. And she came out of it very quickly as well. Like 15 minutes after the surgery ended, Potato was already eating again. So that was a really good sign towards her recovery. And yeah, everything went really well. Her tumor was just one giant lump. It was about the size of an egg, maybe a little bit larger, and it was all fat. Like, it wasn't connected to any muscles, so it was pretty easy to remove, the vet said. In fact, she said it all came out as one piece, so that's really good news because it means the chance of it returning is pretty low. Of course, because Potato is an older female rat and also intact, the chance of her developing another tumor at some point is fairly high, but the chance of this particular tumor coming back is pretty much non-existent because they managed to get the whole thing. Anyways, even though Potato did really well with her surgery, the vet wanted to keep her overnight just because of the strange incident on Friday, and also because the tumor was so large and Potato's an older rat. So they kept her overnight and made sure that she was eating, drinking, peeing, pooping, all that important stuff. And they also made sure that the Medicam dose that they gave her was sufficient to kind of offset her pain and make sure that she was comfortable and not trying to pick at her stitches. And so she is now on Medicam for the next few days. She has a 10-day course of it, and after that, she should be sufficiently healed that she's no longer in pain, and that's not an issue. But I'm definitely very glad that they take pain management seriously at this clinic for rats, because unfortunately a lot of vets don't take pain management seriously for rats, and that can be a big problem because not only does it mean the rat is very uncomfortable after surgery, which, you know, isn't really ethical because we have a way to prevent that, but that also means that the rat is more likely to pick at their stitches because they feel uncomfortable. So it's just best to give them proper pain management, and any good rat vet should be giving you proper pain management for at least a week post-surgery. Anyways, the following day, on Wednesday morning at 9 a.m., I called the vet and asked when I should come pick them up, because that's when I was told to call them, and they told me that she was doing really well, but she hadn't yet pooped, so they wanted me to wait another few hours and call back at noon. So that's exactly what I did. I called them back at noon, and they told me that she had indeed pooped and she was ready to go home. So then I drove to go get her, and brought her back, and that's that. So it is now currently Thursday night when I'm recording this, and she has been home for about a day and a half. She's definitely a little bit less energetic than usual right now. It's only been 2.5 days since her surgery, and she did have a pretty large tumor, plus she's an older rat. So it really doesn't surprise me that she's a little bit less energetic right now while she's healing. But in general, I've been pretty happy with her progress. Obviously, I'm making sure that she's not overexerting herself. She is in a hospital cage right now, but during free range, I'm giving her a few minutes to walk around each day just to allow her to stretch her muscles and just kind of be a little bit more active. And she really isn't one to overexert herself, so that isn't really a big concern. But like I mentioned, I am monitoring her, so it's not really a big issue. Especially because usually after she walks around for a few minutes, she just goes and naps in this little hide right here. So she's very happy to have this hide back. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this update. I did go a little bit longer than I thought I would, but I just wanted to give you guys the details. I hope you guys enjoyed this update on Potato. She is definitely happy to be home, and I'm so happy to see her being a little active again. I will be returning her to the main cage in a day or two, so I think that's also going to help a lot with her kind of morale, because she is not a huge fan of the hospital cage. Anyways, that's it for this video. I will see you guys later. Bye!